Traders, last week the top trade idea that I shared in IWM played out extremely well, and it was the best swing trade that I had during the week. Now, in my latest Inside Access meeting, I reviewed that trade in detail, going over my executions and thought process. So stick around as I share my top ideas for the upcoming trading week. I'm going to go over my trade plans, thought process, and my entry and exit plan, starting with small caps yet again, looking for continuation in small caps, so that's IWM or TNA, pick your poison. But last week's bounce idea coming right into 216, we got the flush off of the open and reclaim of Friday's low, signaling a great entry point, and then getting a fantastic exit into my anticipated targets on that multi-day move higher. So that worked out perfectly according to the watchlist plan that I laid out in the previous week. However, a new setup now presents itself going forward, and that is a consolidation breakout for a second leg higher. Now, after the bounce early in the week, the IWM, as you can see, has spent several days consolidating and displaying notable relative strength. All right, so continuing with that theme to the overall market, it's consolidating near its recent highs, setting up a nice consolidation breakout opportunity. So here's my specific plan. So for entry, different scenarios. For entry, I'm looking either for a quick washout in the upcoming week versus Friday's low, a quick washout and a higher low confirming versus Friday's low. Alternatively, as the IWM closed above last week's resistance, you can see near 224s, and we're able to close right above it, just slightly above it. I'm going to be looking for a lengthy hold above that critical zone now, so around 224.50s to 225s. If we can hold there and spend considerable amount of time holding above and above its volume weighted average price intraday, I would look to get long on a breakout versus the day's low. Now after that, I would target this quite similar in terms of my measured targets as I did with the previous swing in IWM. So looking at measured moves, my first target will be a new 52-week high. So if we can take out 226.64, so a move through that zone, I would then look to scale out slightly of my position and begin to trail my stop using the same approach as I outlined last week. So that's looking at higher highs and higher lows. So on higher lows, I'm scaling and trailing my stop. On higher highs, I'm scaling out of my position on any major extractions, extensions on that time frame, and new higher highs scaling out. Now, of course, it's going to be imperative with this idea to gauge the overall market sentiment, internals, and relative strength. All right. The next idea is going to be a relief rally in semis. Now, again, pick your poison. You can look at SMH, you can look at SOXL, you can even look at, NVIDIA. But for me, looking at SOXL, now, the last time we saw, a rapid sell-off like we've seen in SOXL and semis towards the 200-day, we bounced sharply once we broke its short-term steep downtrend. We're able to bounce very sharply right back into a key moving average. So I'm not saying that the same thing is going to happen here going forward with SOXL. However, if SOXL and the sector can firm up over its multi-day volume weighted average price and begin to base above short-term or prior week, last week's key resistance zones around 43 in SOXL, and then break this steep downtrend, I'll definitely be looking on the right side of it to have a relief bounce for a multi-day move. So my exact plan. SOXL's fallen about 40% from its 52-week highs. It's tapped its 200-day right here on Thursday after a slight, relief bounce from that. For the upcoming week, if SOXL can break its steep downtrend, all right, if it can break that steep downtrend and base above its multi-day resistance, so looking for a base over 43s, followed by a push to break this 44 resistance zone and short-term trend break, that's where I'm going to look to be in a position long versus the low of day. Now, I would look to hold this position probably for up to 3 days, more likely 2 days, depending on how extreme the up move and bounce is. But I'm going to be trailing my stop using higher lows on the 5-minute time frame or the prior day's low. But again, like I said, that's really going to be dependent on the price action, how extreme the bounce is, and the R-vol. I want to look at and gauge the volume behind the actual move. Now, my first target to lock in gains is going to be toward 47, 47.50s, and 50 coming into potential resistance zones within this region. And thereafter, I'm going to be looking for an ultimate target of 52, which might act as a resistance zone as we approach this range before we had some further extension to the downside. So looking for 47.50s to 50 as sort of a main target to lock in gains, trail my stop aggressively, and ultimately for a up to 3-day move, 52 would be a really lofty goal. And of course, I'll stop out if we make lower lows on a 5-minute time frame. Now coming up, let's go down to a lower time frame, some additional ideas. These are all going to be in small cap ideas, which have seen really nice flow of really speculation and capital and volume the last couple of weeks, especially as IWM has broken out. But WINT, small cap liquidity traps, they've been playing out extremely well with T+1, and WINT had a very strong close on Friday. Certainly trap shorts. We got some short covering into the close, a little bit of FOMO, but overall we closed above VWAP. We closed strong on the day, and therefore I'm going to be monitoring this going forward for a potential fail and trap sub 7 in the week ahead, reclaim, start basing over 8, and then looking for a potential squeeze out momentum trade to the long side through the highs, through 9s. And then, once it exhausts, I'll shift my attention to the short side. But, this one is more of a day trader. It's not a swing candidate. It's very similar to my thoughts on SERV the prior week. So this is one where I'll look to sort of be nail and bail, react to the psychology within the stock. Next up, we have BFI. Now, BFI Friday, we saw a beautiful push, really, really nice push, nice flow, and followed by a beautiful squeeze out. And then that was followed by great confirmation. Once we stuffed above the previous high, we then got a lower high, which served as confirmation to the backside and momentum shift. So there was some fantastic momentum opportunities on day one to be trading this. Going forward, I have alerts set if we come back into a potential supply zone just above, which will become the 2-day VWAP. If we can push into 60, 65 and fail within that region, I would be interested in taking a short versus the high of that move for a bit of a trickle down lower over a day and a half back down to 40s and 30s. Lastly is POAI. This was one of the top intraday short opportunities for me as it relates to small caps from last week, presenting a fantastic short opportunity, taking levels from the daily, taking stock of price action on the day and being able to react very quickly. This turned out to be a fantastic small cap short from last week. Going forward, alerts are set in the name if we have a very quick liquidity move and a push right back to 2 plus and fail for a reactive short versus high of day for a move back down towards low ones. So that is what I'm watching for the week ahead. Once again, IWM remains main focus with small caps, and then looking at the semi-sector and specifically SOXL for relief bounce. Those are the top ideas coming into the week. Let me know what you're watching. As always, I'd love to know what you're watching, what stocks are on your list, what do you think is shaping up from an attractive risk-reward standpoint. Drop those tickers in the comments. Put your thought process in there too if you'd like, your trade plans. And I'm wishing you all a fantastic week ahead trading, and I'll see you all next week.
So you're an active trader, not doing as well as you want, not doing as well as you deserve, and you just can't figure out why you can't become profitable no matter how hard you try. Well, let me show you why. This is your competition. The traders in this room. This room right here is full of elite traders, some of whom are making 7 and even 8 figures a year. In fact, our top guys have made nearly 20 million each in net trading profits in a single year. Let's head to my office so I can share more. So you're probably used to seeing videos of lavish trader lifestyles, trading gurus trading off of a laptop for an hour a day, heck, maybe even 15 minutes a day, and then them relaxing on some secluded beach for the rest of the day. Well, all I can tell you is that our traders train like pro athletes. They live and breathe the markets and are continually working on their trading skills. Because at our firm, that's what we've found it really takes to make it in this game. I'm Mike Bellafiore, co-founder and managing partner of SMB Capital, one of the world's top proprietary trading firms located in Midtown Manhattan. And we're always looking for trading talent to hire and develop. And not just to trade in-house on our desk, but also to trade from their own home, entirely using our firm's capital. And we have numerous traders doing just that, allowing them to make upwards of 7 figures trading the firm's capital without risking their own money. But to even get a shot at something like that, you need to have the right training. That's why we're doing a new free online presentation in which we share how you can get an interview with SMB to become an in-house or remote trader, trading firm capital without risking yours and gaining access to all of our firm's coaching and resources. And the best part? You don't have to be a profitable trader yet. In fact, we prefer to mold profitable traders with our methods and our techniques. That's why we have just 3 simple criteria that can earn anyone an interview. We're looking for highly ambitious and determined traders who fit our culture first and foremost. So if you believe that could be you, sign up for the free 1-hour online presentation by clicking the link that's in your top right corner of your screen now.